How to Write in Third Grade, number 3 of 7. A narrative. Describe a classmate. Teacher background. This third writing piece will continue the work on narratives. In the first piece, you identified setting, time and place, and characters from places you visited this summer. In your second piece, you provided lots of descriptive details about a place in the school. You painted a picture with words to make it easy for your readers to see this place through your eyes and feel what it was like to be there. You will continue your work on narratives, but focusing on gathering descriptive details about a person. We want to do a better job describing the characters in your story. Describing a person is a lot like describing a place and a thing. We get our information through our senses. We see what they look like. He has brown hair. We hear their loud voice. We feel the soft skin on her arm. We smell her sweet perfume. We can even taste him if we lick the salty sweat off his arm. Ick. But it's also possible to describe things about people that we can't detect with our senses. Jimmy is funny. Claire is smart. Ryan is athletic. Everyone can see that my friend Jimmy has brown hair, but how do they know he is funny? Everyone can smell Claire's newly shampooed hair, but how do they know she is smart? Everyone can hear Ryan's loud voice, but how do they know she is athletic? If we can't detect the descriptions with our senses, then we need to prove them in our writing. I need to explain what makes me think the person is funny, smart, or athletic. Traits are ways of describing people that we need to prove. Jimmy is funny. This is a trait. Now I need to prove he's funny by explaining, by giving examples of his behavior. He makes me laugh a lot. Yesterday he told me a joke, and I laughed so hard I spilled my milk. Claire is smart. This is a trait. Now I need to prove it by explaining and giving examples. She knows all the answers for the homework. She told me that the capital of California is Sacramento. Ryan is athletic. Can you think of an explanation or example of behavior that proves Ryan is athletic? She plays on lots of sports teams. She hit 3 home runs for her softball team this year. The examples and the explanation make it easier for the reader to understand the trait I'm using to describe the person. Try to draw a real-life picture using an example to make it even more clear. Paint a picture of the characters in your story and make them more vivid to your readers by providing traits. My character looks like this, and this is who she is. Today, your goal is to describe a classmate. You'll begin by describing them with your senses, but you'll also provide 2 positive traits with explanations and examples that prove them. One of the lessons we've learned from the previous 2 assignments is that real writers gather all the elements of their story before they begin to write. We did that when we wrote about your summer vacation and when we described a classroom. Now we're going to gather the elements needed to write a profile or a description of your classmate. Take a look at the profile worksheet. You will write down 3 descriptive details about the face and hair of your classmate. What color is her hair? How short or long is it? Is it straight? Is it curly? Are there hair ties to keep it in a ponytail? You will also provide 3 descriptive details about the clothes they wear. Does he usually wear baggy shorts? Do they hang down? Are the jeans tight and short? Does he wear a baseball jersey? What kinds of shoes or jackets does he wear? Come to an agreement with your partner before you write down the details. The goal is to get enough material to write and generate a fairly accurate picture of your partner. Avoid any disagreements and hurt feelings. The bottom half of the worksheet is for finding traits that describe your classmate. It is always easier and more accurate to find the behavior of your classmate before you pick a word that describes it. For example, you and your partner can agree that Jimmy draws while the teacher does read aloud. This is a behavior. You would write this down in the behavior section. The next step is to find a word or trait that describes this behavior. You can both agree that artistic is a word that works. Now you write artistic in the trait section. What if you wrote Claire got 100% on all of the spelling tests last year? What is a word or trait that describes this behavior? That's right, successful. If you need help finding a word that describes the behavior, look at the list of character traits hanging in your classroom. Remember, it is always easier and more accurate to find the behavior of your classmate before you pick the word that describes it. Begin first with the younger partner gathering the information for their worksheet. After the younger partner has all of the information for their worksheet, work on the older partner's worksheet. Remember, if I am writing about you, I write down all the information. You help with the information, but it's my writing assignment, so I put it into the graphic organizer. Then, when you are writing about me, you would do all of the writing into the graphic organizer, and I would just help with the information. Go ahead and complete your graphic organizers. Last time, we learned that you can describe people and characters in your story using your senses. We see what they look like. He has brown hair. We hear their loud voice. We feel the soft skin on her arm. We smell her sweet perfume. We can even taste them if we lick the salty sweat on his arm. We also learn that sometimes when we describe people, we need to prove it. Jimmy is artistic. He draws while the teacher does read aloud. Claire is smart. She got 100% on all of the spelling tests last year. Ryan is athletic. She kicked a ball the entire length of the soccer field. These are traits. Traits are ways of describing people that we need to prove. Look at the profile worksheet you completed last time. These are the elements that you'll use to write your profile of your classmate. Take a piece of the prepared writing paper. Write your name and today's date. In the section for writing skills, write 6 descriptive details, 2 traits with explanations, commas in a series. Your first sentence has to tell your reader who you're presenting in your writing piece. Tell them, I am describing Jimmy. It's possible to write a more interesting sentence that does the same thing. Our new classmate this year is Claire. Or, do you know Ryan? Let me tell you something about her. All of the sentences signal your reader that you are going to describe someone. Write your opening sentence. Now use the details in face and hair section and the section on clothes they wear to write a few sentences. Remember, say the sentence in your head before you write it down. Sometimes it sounds right to use one detail in a sentence. Jimmy has short hair. Other times, you might put a few details in one sentence. Jimmy usually wears a Phillies jersey, jeans, and sneakers. Notice, when I say this sentence out loud, I have a short pause after jersey and jeans. In order to tell the reader to pause, I put a comma. Commas in a list of items tells the reader to pause. Mom bought cereal, apples, bananas, and bread. Commas keep the sentence from sounding confused. If I want a complete stop, I put an ending mark, a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. Use the information in the face and hair and clothes sections. Write descriptive sentences about your classmate. The final information you'll put in your paper are the traits. Write a sentence using the trait you chose for the first behavior. Ryan is athletic. Or, some people think Ryan is an athlete. Now write a sentence or sentences telling about the behavior. Ryan plays on the travel soccer team. Once she kicked a ball the entire length of the field. Now write a sentence using the trait you chose for the second behavior. To finish your profile of your classmate, you need to signal to your reader you're done. Very young writers put, "the end." Better writers start to use a sentence like, "That finishes my description of Jimmy." Sometimes people use a sentence that sounds like the first sentence. "Thank you for letting me tell you about our new classmate, Claire." Or, "Now you know something about Ryan." The words have a second meaning that signals to the reader that you are finished. Now you need to check your story. You don't want your readers to discover you've made a mistake. You want to fix anything that's wrong. Go back to the beginning and quietly read your piece. If one of your sentences doesn't sound right, then there's probably something wrong. Fix it. Go to the top of your paper and look at the writing skills. Did you use 6 descriptive details? Count them just to be sure. Did you give 2 traits with explanations? Finally, did you use commas when you listed more than 2 details in one sentence? Good job.